Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Power 44 here, and we are back with the brand new PTR patch notes for Overwatch. This is PTR patch 1.14, and the cool thing about this is there's a brand new game mode in the arcade. We're talking Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch. So both of these game modes have been added. We're going to go through the PTR patch notes. We're going to go through everything. And then we'll probably make a separate video with our first impressions of Deathmatch and stuff. But guys, it's on the PTR, so go ahead, download the PTR, and go have some fun in Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch. So let's see what's going on here. So the first patch highlight is for Deathmatch, 2 new game modes added to the arcade. In Deathmatch, 8 players go head-to-head until one player scores 20 points. Players will earn 1 point whenever they land the final blow on an opponent and will lose 1 point whenever they die to environmental damage, i.e. falling off a cliff, or self-inflicted damage. So like if you're Pharah or Zarya and you or even Soldier, and you use your rocket or your right click and you just kill yourself, you'll lose a point. The scoring will be tracked in a brand new scoreboard, and the first player to 20 points will win. And then in Team Deathmatch, you have 2 teams of 4 players that face off until one team scores 30 points. Players will earn 1 point for the team whenever they land the final blow on an opponent, and will lose again whenever they die to environmental damage or self-inflicted damage. If players are resurrected before they respawn, the corresponding point for their death will be deducted from the enemy team score. Now this is super important, because that means that you're going to see a lot of Mercy being played, and the reason for that is how great would it be if the enemy team gets 3 points, and your Mercy reses all 3 of you, takes those 3 points away. So it's going to be a really interesting what team comps we see in this 4-player face-off, I guess you can call it, right? Yeah, so first team to 30 points wins, like I said. Both modes will play out on a selection of maps. I'm sorry, there's a lot of light coming from this window. I tried to cover it up as best I could, but the sun is just it's right there. And you're going to see, some waving stuff because there's a tree, shadows. You guys get the deal. So both modes will play out on the selected maps from our existing pool: Hanamura, Horizon Lunar Colony, Temple of Anubis, Volskaya Industries, Dorado, Eichenwald, Hollywood, Kings Row, and for Team Deathmatch only, you have Black Forest, Castillo, Echo Point, Antarctica, and Acropolis, and those, of course, are the 1v1 maps or the 3v3 maps. They've made several modifications to many of these maps, including restricting play to a specific area and developing a special respawn system when playing in these modes. They're also introducing a brand new map specifically for Deathmatch. It's called Chateau Gouliard, and we're going to learn about that as we keep going in the patch notes. Both modes will be available for playing custom games, and yeah, I'll leave a link to their developer update if you guys want to go see that. So the new Deathmatch map is Chateau Gouliard, and it's located in Annons in southeastern France. Hundreds of years it was in a state of an influential Gouliard family until it gradually fell into despair. Sorry guys. After the family's power waned in the decades after the revolution. Recently, the chateau has found a new owner, the talent agent Widowmaker, who has returned to her family's ancestral home. So this is Widowmaker's home before she became Widowmaker, and now she's back. For general, a number of data format changes have been implemented. Over the past few months, we've been working on a number of specific under-the-hood changes that will help streamline the patching process and the download size of future patches. That does not mean that today's patch is larger than traditional. Guys, I can't read right now for some reason. I'm losing my mind. It's super hot in this room, but let's keep it going. So for the hero updates, I know that's what everybody's here for, right? We've got Junkrat getting buffed. His concussion mine now holds 2 mines, so you have 2 charges of mines, and his rip tire has increased movement speed by 30% and no longer a time limit when wall climbing. I didn't even know there was a time limit when wall climbing. Their development comments there are giving the Junkrat the ability to store 2 concussion mines adds some much needed flexibility and versatility to his kit, particularly when using the mines for mobility. Riptire's damage has always been very good, but it often was difficult to steer the tire into position before it was destroyed. Increasing its speed will allow players to effectively detonate the tire more often and decrease the amount of time that Junkrat is vulnerable while controlling it. So this is nice. We really haven't seen too much Junkrat in competitive play aside from South Korea in the Overwatch World Cup. But that's a nice little buff to him. I don't see it being like too overpowered or anything. I do agree with them with the concussion mines. It's going to help his mobility a lot. He's going to be able to jump around the map. And as you know, if you put a concussion mine down and you wait before the cooldown resets, you can possibly have maybe 3 concussion mines out at once. So you can move around really nicely and get to fars and high position. For Orisa, her fusion driver's projectile speed has been increased to 20%. Again, her protective barrier size was increased by 20%, and the barrier shape has been changed to allow for more coverage from enemies that are below the barrier. That's really big too, because I thought Orisa was actually getting pretty strong. Her barriers in some cases are better than having a Reinhardt, and I felt like she did a lot of damage. It was a little difficult to land the projectiles. You'd have to lead your shot by a lot, so hopefully this helps out a lot. It should. And the developer comments there is the projectile speed increases, helps Orisa's consistency, especially at medium range or further. Her barrier size has been increased to better protect her team, and the new shape makes the shield more effective when it's used on slopes or on top of objects such as the payload. Okay, that's interesting. As for Roadhog, the next character here, he has Take a Breather, which is his E, his heal. You can now use that while moving, which is very important. And the damage taken while healing has been reduced by 50%. So we all heard about these. I think we went over it in a previous video about Roadhog's changes and potentially Junkrat's changes. So it's here. It's on the PTR. And I think this is great. This is probably the best thing that could have happened to Roadhog. He was really overpowered and then nerfed pretty harshly. I still think he does okay if you know how to use him, but he doesn't have that one-shot potential. So with the Take a Breather, I can see them really pushing him more as that off tank, where he can deal out damage but stay alive. He's just not getting melted by Reaper's shotgun, especially while he's healing. And now he can move and he has 50% reduced damage. For Widowmaker, I didn't see these buffs incoming, but her grappling hook cooldown has been reduced from 12 seconds to 8 seconds, allowing you to move around a little bit more as Widowmaker. And her Venom Mine, now if you're affected by it, you're visible through walls to only Widowmaker, which is interesting. I think it gives the Venom Mine a little bit more versatility because it was just used as like some extra damage. Yeah, it's pretty much it. Widowmaker is extremely powerful in the right hands, but her abilities are often felt a little weak. The grappling hook cooldown reduction means she is more likely to have it available when she needs to escape. Venom Mine is intended to be an early warning system, uncovering enemies that are attempting to flank her or her team. With this change, she can see enemies when they trigger the mine, even if they're on the other side of the wall. Yes, exactly what we said. Some other fixes are just some general bug fixes. User interface. They added an outlined opacity option under the custom reticle setting, which allow players to control the opacity of the black outline surrounding the reticle. Everything else are just bug fixes. If you guys want to read it, I will leave a link to the patch notes in the description below, guys. But that's going to be it for the PTR patch notes. Thanks for watching. We went over them. Hopefully these changes stay. I think they're all good changes. I can't see them being too overpowered. There's a brand new mode in Overwatch, Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch. I know a lot of people were asking for it since it's a first-person shooter, and probably it was the only first-person shooter without a Team Deathmatch mode or a Deathmatch mode. So that's going to be really interesting, and we're going to cover that a lot more in later videos. All right, guys. In the comments below, let me know what you think of the changes. Personally, for me, like I said, I like them. Let me know what you guys think of Team Deathmatch and Deathmatch. Go ahead and play it for a bit. I don't have time right now to play it, but we'll probably be playing it on our stream. I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. Alright guys, leave a like to the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you feel you need to. Guys, we have a ton of Overwatch content coming out, so go ahead and do that. But that's it. I'm KingPower44, and I'm out of here. Peace.